Hi everyone, this is Luis from Dreams of Grey in Chicago, Illinois, and you are listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
Thank you.
One, two, three, four. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
This is 70,000 Tons of Metal, the original but world's biggest heavy metal cruise. 60 bands, 4 days, 1 cruise ship, only 3,000 tickets. It's like having an all-access backstage pass. January 29th to February 2nd, 2026. From Miami, Florida to Nassau, the Bahamas, and back. 70,000 Tons of Metal.
How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I am well, thanks. You're in Chicago, right?
Yep, Chicago. Yeah, born and raised.
How hot is it over there today?
Today, it's not as bad as it has been some days. I think today it's like high 70s, low 80s. So, you know, still hot, but reasonable compared to some of the other days the last few weeks.
Yeah, I'm in Richmond and it's been brutal, but today is beautiful out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm
nice,
digging it. So
nice.
we can just jump right in if you want.
Okay,
One
sure.
of the things I like doing the show is coming across bands I've not heard of before, and so Dreams of Grey was one of those. For those
Uh,
not familiar with the band, can you give us or I guess it's a solo project at the moment, but can you give us like the 2 sentence elevator boardroom pitch?
sure. So yeah, Dreams of Grey, and it's a um melodic death doom thrash band from Chicago. I think the emphasis really is on writing very memorable music, lyrics that are, pretty heavy and cover a lot of heavy territory, like emotionally. Um, and yeah, just basically it's the music that I want to hear. I just that I really enjoy playing, and just kind of what comes out of me whenever I start playing music.
All right, fair enough. So a beginning comes out on September 5th. What's been the initial response to the single so far?
Yeah, so the first single at the beginning got really great response. I've had some people have already reviewed uh, the EP. Some people the zines and
Right.
online things have had access to it ahead of time, and so yeah, all the response has been really positive. I've been really blown away. A lot of yeah, so very positive, and also people who have heard it. People. Um, on Bandcamp or through other means, reached out to me and really um, enjoyed it. People I know in the Chicago metal scene, yeah, everyone's really enjoyed it. So that makes me very happy because it's great that something that means so much to me that I put a lot of hard work into is getting such a positive response.
Yeah. So how does a family medicine physician become a death metal musician? That's great.
Yeah, so it was kind of happened in stage. So actually, I was playing in a metal band earlier when I was fresh out of high school. I played, and I still actually play with them. They're some of my best friends. A band in Chicago, kind of progressive death metal called Abolisher, and I joined up with them when I was 18, just coming out of high school. And so I've been playing music with them, and we played shows throughout Chicago, the Midwest, recorded some EPs, and during that time, I was working as an electrician. So I was a union electrician here in Chicago,
Mhm.
and I had thought about going into medicine, something I actually wanted to pursue when I was younger, earlier in life, and I just really, for various reasons, didn't get the opportunity to do it via the traditional route. People going straight from high school to college,
Right.
um, at school, things like that. So I kind of took a non-linear path. So when I was playing music, working as an electrician, and was taking classes part time at first, and then eventually finished up my bachelor's, and then applied to medical school. But yeah, went back to school with the idea, or went to school because I knew I wanted to go to medical school, and so yeah, and then obviously medical school was very intense, and so was
Sure.
residency. So unfortunately, music kind of had to take a little bit of a back seat for a time, but I never stopped listening to music or coming up with ideas. But I just wasn't able to, actively record or play with anyone, put anything out. So I kind of had ideas kind of building up, and then once I roughly within the first year after residency, I said, okay, really want to make this a priority again, to record some music, put something out there, and yes, just get back to it. Just
That's a great story.
that's
Yeah.
yeah.
How do you think your
Thank you, thank you.
experiences, how do you think your experiences caring for others' health affects the way you approach songwriting, especially dealing with themes of grief, loss, and even existential struggle?
No, definitely. I mean, I think it definitely impacts that because I think well, just the type of work I do, and even throughout my training and various settings and that I've trained in, whether it be taking care of people who are really ill in the ER, people who've been, you know, who suffered, horrible traumas
Right.
or lost or loved ones or been really bad car accidents, things like all these things. Just seeing all that, I think, gives you a different perspective, and help trying to help people do what you can in those moments. I think really it made me kind of look at life a little bit differently. I just I know our time is limited, and I know that, and I think it allows me to also allow me to be a little bit more patient. I think give people the benefit of the doubt. You don't always know what other people are going through,
Right.
what their struggles are. And a lot of times when something, somebody is rude to you or something happens, a lot of times it really has to do more with something that's going on with them versus their feelings about you. And so I
Right.
think just caring for people and or just being, helping people in those situations has kind of given me that perspective, and how to deal with other people, relationships, interacting with other people, but also just I think the way I look at life, and my just how I interact with others, even in my personal life,
So would you
and
say creating this record impacted your own mental health journey as well?
oh, definitely, yeah, it's definitely. So yeah, Dreams of Grey. I had the idea for a while, and shortly after I finished residency, I started working on some music, putting down some riffs, um, and then unfortunately, I had some things happened. Unfortunately, in my personal life, my brother shortly after, right around that time, my younger brother was diagnosed with kidney cancer and passed away within a year of being diagnosed. And then 2 years later, a couple years later, my mom and my father both passed away about 2 weeks apart from each other, kind of suddenly. And so even though I had the music in my, I think, I've been working on some lyrics and things, and they were similar themes, but after that, the lyrics kind of took on, they were a little more importance to me, and they were kind of a form of therapy, of processing that grief, and all of a sudden, I just had a lot more like, a sense of urgency, I think, to record these songs, put them out, and just even if not that many people heard it, or how, not even it didn't matter how it was received. I mean, obviously, I want people to like it, but I felt like for myself, it's just something I needed to do, just kind
Right.
of using the art and music as a form of therapy, and um, it's helped quite a bit. Obviously, nothing will ever totally make
Right.
those things go away, those feelings go away, but I think it's helped me process it, and I think in a healthy way, and yeah,
You ever worry
get
about
get
being
to
being too vulnerable in your music?
Yeah, that's interesting. You know, I haven't that personally, because I feel like personally, some of the music that I love best. I mean, some of the lyrics. I mean, I love all kinds of music, but I mean, some of the lyrics that I like best are when people are like really vulnerable and talk about their own experience with you know interpersonal relationships or mental health struggles or um, family issues, whatever it may be.
Right.
Like this grief, loss, all these things. Those types of lyrics are the ones that always stick with me the most,
Right.
and
I think when it's
always,
organic, it resonates for sure.
yeah, definitely,
Have there
definitely,
been
and
any
yeah,
go ahead.
no, as I was gonna say exactly, and so I think that those lyrics just always stuck out to me, and I think it instead of I always felt like when I was listening to those things, I mean, I enjoyed the music, but then also hearing those lyrics, it always made me feel like, okay, I'm not the only one who's ever felt this way. I'm not the only one who's ever had these types of experiences. So th- those types of lyrics I've always enjoyed, and I've always appreciated those people who were able to do that. And
Yeah. Are there moments when your medical and creative worlds overlap or even clash?
overlap, I don't know. There hasn't really been a lot of overlap, to be honest with you. Um, I think, I mean, what's interesting because once people find out, a lot of people don't know. I guess unless we have a reason to talk about music, they don't
Right.
know that this is something I do. So, but when I talk to a lot of my colleagues or medical students that I'm working with, who are younger than I am, and maybe we'll talk about music or something will come up, or you know, the fact that they may play an instrument or things like that, and so people are always like pleasantly surprised to see that. Oh wow, it's great to see you're a musician, and
Right.
that um, that you're still doing have this kind of passion outside of medicine. That medicine is not just completely taken over every aspect of your life. So I think that that's always been very positive. That's always been well received. And then sometimes, I have some colleagues or people I'm working with who like heavy music and they hear it and they always give me like really good feedback. They're like, oh, let me know when you're gonna play live. I want to go see you play live. um, and as far as clashing, I mean, I don't know. I don't think, not really, because I mean, I kind of overall, I mean, keep the worlds kind of separately, other than just maybe conversation with colleagues or other
Right.
people that I come across. I mean, there's really no, yeah, nothing that's clashed so far. It's not like I'm, you know, being a physician. I'm also a father, single father, two kids, so it's like I have a lot of responsibilities. So it's not like I'm
Right.
trying to tour the world and gonna leave my job
Right.
for months or something like that.
So what does this look like in shows? Are you going to do any like even one-offs or is that not a thing?
Yes, yeah, I'm excited. No, I am. Yeah, I'm really itching to play live again. So I mean, there's the possibility. We're looking to possibly playing shows um, uh, right now. Actually, I've recruited a drummer and another guitarist, and we're actually going to start practicing soon. They both really like the material. They have history of playing in other bands, and they're both very
Right.
talented musicians. Thankfully, here in the Chicago area,
Right.
and so we're going to start practicing probably next week actually,
Oh,
and we're
nice.
hoping to play a couple shows. Tentatively, we're looking to play a couple shows in the fall, winter, around there, and then we're trying to recruit a bass player, have a couple leads, but nothing 100% yet. And yeah, but our plan is to play a couple shows. The EP will be out by then.
Right.
And hopefully, if everything goes well, if everybody has a good time, enjoys playing the music live, then maybe do some more shows. The drummer is really, really likes the music, and he wants to be a part of the next recording. I've kind of had different people fill in for the drums,
Hmm.
and he he really wants to express interest in not only playing shows but doing some recording with me for anything in the future. So I'm excited
Okay.
about that.
Yeah. So I know we're jumping all over the place, but is there something you want your fans to take away from after listening to a beginning? Is there like an overarching theme or message or
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, I mean, musically, I mean, I hope they enjoy the music. I mean, and
Right.
obviously that's the first thing they do. And, I hope they can appreciate it. Hope that, the melodies, everything sticks with them. I hope they see like this is something that, where a lot of work was put into it. It's kind of very thoughtful the way I put the songs together. And I think lyrically, yeah, just that, this is, we have, all of us struggle with things. Life isn't perfect, and that there's obviously horrible times, really low times in our life, but there's still, we could. Um, there's also, things that give us strength, and we can
Yeah.
be resilient, and sometimes we're, a lot stronger than we think we are. And that's kind of actually where the idea of the Dreams of Grey, the idea, the band name or came about is like the idea of gray, having both light and dark, things not being like binary, all black or white, kind of comes in because just, yeah, kind of seeing the world is like more nuanced and things are not always perfect, but that doesn't mean that there's still not beauty, there's still not things you can appreciate. There's Yeah, that's the whole idea of like I think of where the band name came from, and I think what I'm trying to express with the lyrics and music.
I think that this kind of heavy music in general is a great vehicle for getting across those messages, right? It's super cathartic as well as meaningful, I think. And people outside the scene may think otherwise, but it's very, very cathartic both for the artist and the listener, I think.
Oh, definitely, yeah, for sure. I mean, even before I started playing in bands, I mean, I think when I was younger, I had to deal with some things that probably a lot of kids in my situation didn't have to deal with, and got into heavy music, and I think I didn't go to therapy or anything like that when I was younger, but and listen to music, and eventually playing music was my form of therapy. It's like I think just having those songs to listen to, sing along with, play along with, they were just really cathartic. Really, just let me be able to stay well, mentally well, and through some
Right.
pretty challenging times. And so I'm very grateful for that.
So sticking along those lines for a second, then, I mean, the EP definitely has content that suggests cycles and endings and new beginnings and that sort of thing. Outside of music, what personal rituals or practices help you reset?
Yeah. So, well, music is a big one, but other than that, I do try to stay active, physically. Just I think being outside, being out as much as I can in the Chicago area. Sometimes it can be tough if it's really hot or really cold,
Yeah.
but I do my best to stay outside. I mean, I also do try to practice like mindfulness, like stress reduction, so like some meditation periodically, like a few times
Right.
a week. I think that's really good to helps me kind of stay grounded, and yeah, just it's really good for kind of keeping things perspective, like not letting your emotions or specific situations kind of take over you or overwhelm you. I think that's been very helpful for that.
Okay. That's going to bring me to my written questions, but did I miss anything you want to cover?
I think
If fans want to find you, where can they do so? Or listeners,
yeah,
viewers?
so so they can find our music is on Bandcamp. That's you can listen to all the songs we have available so far. Also has some lyric videos up on YouTube from the previous EP as well as the current one. And of course, there's Spotify, Apple Music, all the usual streaming services. Social media, Instagram. That's probably the most active one. Instagram, to be honest with you, really don't use Facebook much, but we
There's
do
too
have an
many of
account.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, but Instagram's the one where I'm the most active, and at least for me, what I've noticed is that it seems like a lot of musicians seem to mostly use that. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's just observation or if it's true, but yeah, so that's the one where I post more regularly about the band and what's going on with the band.
Perfect. And your live dates will be on there, and the record is September 5th, right?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, well, any shows I'll be posting there for sure. The when on September 5th when it's released, I'm planning to have some CDs available as well as some T-shirts, and not right now, but maybe down the line, I'm thinking about maybe doing like a vinyl pressing. But
Oh, nice.
uh, I'm thinking about doing a vinyl pressing of both EPs in one, so like kind of
Oh,
a
nice.
twofer.
One on each
So
side?
yeah, exactly. Make
Nice.
it worthwhile. And
Yeah.
I know a lot of people really, I like violin too, and then and so yeah, so I think that's something cool I would like to do. Hopefully, within the next few months after the release, I'd like time to look into that.
Hey, my friend, I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. Sorry, my first time doing one of these like live, so I hope it went
Oh,
okay.
no stress. Everything is fine. Everything's great. I try and keep it casual so we just kind of talk and see what happens. You
Okay,
did fine. Thank you so
appreciate it. Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you for the
All right.
opportunity.
Be well,
Thank
my
you.
friend.
Take care.
Cheers. Bye.